Hi, and welcome to the Zen Supermom podcast. Today I have another interview episode for you, and you might want to listen, especially if you're a younger parent, meaning your babies were just born, or you're even pregnant now, or your partner is expecting, and you want to get ahead of the curve. You want to clean up whatever generational patterns you're carrying from your childhood, whatever mistakes you do not want to repeat now becoming a parent. This episode is for you. Why? Because I spoke to Bili, one of our Zen Supermom clients who just finished the program a few weeks ago. She was inside for 3 months, just like we do for everybody. In just 3 months, she cleaned up everything from her past, learned a healthy way of how to communicate and set the boundaries. And when she started the program, her baby son was just 2.5 months old. So she was not yelling at him. She wanted to do this before it gets so bad, before the terrible twos. So what is the story? What is it that she needed to clean up? And what gives her that confidence that she's not going to become a yelling mom? How can she be so sure? If you want to know, come and listen. Let's meet Bili. Hi, Supermom or Superdad. Alena here, your mommy tantrum specialist and the founder of the Zen Supermom system. And me and my team have helped hundreds of moms and dads start setting healthy boundaries with calm. And this is the first parenting podcast that is not about your kids, that shows you why none of the parenting techniques helped you stop yelling at your kids, and how to control your emotions from jumping out so that you can be the safe, loving parent you wish you had growing up. This is the Zen Supermom podcast. Hi, Bili.
Hello.
Very happy to have you here. Please share what gave you that courage to go and be interviewed, speak up on a podcast like this. Why would you want to talk about your story?
Because I heard from others about their stories. I heard from you about your sales pitch, and I felt like this is something I should just join. This is something that it's worth to go through for my own sake and for my baby's sake and for my husband's partner's sake. So it was almost a no-brainer to join.
Get it. So this is why you joined the Zen Superman program. I was curious also why you said yes to this podcast, because you basically practically volunteered to be on the podcast. So why did you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, compared to the other parents or moms, I think my situation is more special when it comes to my baby's age. I already say baby. So he just turned 6 months.
Yay.
So it's really early, and it's kind of, I wanted to be ahead of the struggle. I wanted to avoid to get in the situation and being totally down and then calling you and saying, I need help.
Yeah. I'm blessed you for that. Your baby boy is lucky to have you, because indeed most of the moms who come and ask for help, their kids are much older already. So not to point any fingers, not to judge you. If your kids are already older, we can still help. But this interview is going to be especially for the moms who have younger babies still, and who might be thinking, but it's okay. I'm not yelling that much even. I'm just stressed a little bit, but who isn't? That's fine. So what was it? What was going on for you that was bad enough, that was hurting enough, that you decided even before the terrible twos came, that it's I need help, please?
I think it's a mix. It's some memories of my childhood. It's seeing other moms behaving in a way that I thought, oh, I don't want to be like this. I never want to be like this. seeing my partner, how he, because he has 3 children before, how he handles his children still, or still before the program, but they are older. So that was a mix, and I like to be prepared. And I would even say, I mean, I joined when he was 2.5 months. I was totally in this baby bubble, so I would recommend even to do it before the baby arrives. But yeah, I think it was good that I did it anyway.
Absolutely, because you saved yourself and your son like so much pain later on, for sure. You mentioned that there was something from your childhood as well, that was one of the reasons you knew that had to get sorted out and cleaned out. So whatever you want to share about it.
So it's very interesting because I don't know if it was before or after, or the first session with a coach. I asked both my parents about my childhood and did you shout? And both were like, no. And I was like, interesting. So I don't know if it's my memory or their memory or the video that was manipulated where you can see it.
Really? Okay.
But I mean, it was, I had a great childhood, I would say. There is nothing that I would say that I had someone, neither my dad or my mom, shouting, and I just remember this person as the shouter. So from this point of view, I had a lucky childhood, but still there were situations, and from my point of view now, I think they could have been avoided with a little bit, with more information and the will to do it different.
Yeah. And that's what I love about you and the moms that we have inside the program. You understand we are not here to blame our parents. Like, yeah, of course they could have done better. We could have done better as moms for our kids, no matter like what happened. We are all human. But the power that you realized was that you can change it.
Yes.
Like you can heal it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what was it that was still that you were afraid that might get worse, really? Like in the connection with your past, when you were a kid, what was it that you were afraid that might then repeat? Like next to the shouting and...
In general, the losing control of a situation. And this, no matter how you react, but I mean, you have the different saboteurs. No matter how you react, I want to prepare myself not to react out of this. I want to have in mind what I learned and react in a more sensitive way that does not hurt my child. So, yeah.
Beautiful. What was your dream? Like when you were starting the program, what did you have in mind? What was your goal that you wanted to achieve in the next 3 months?
The happiest baby ever.
That's every mom's dream, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I knew, or I was pretty sure that during the program, of course, I mean, you can't shout at a baby that is just a few months old, and I would bold say if you shout at the baby, then you're not the person joining this program. So I think my journey, or no, I can't say it has not begun because it began already, but I have my backpack now my positive backpack, and it's not heavy like a negative backpack. It's a light backpack that I can um, just use when it comes to these situations.
Yeah.
And I also think it's the small steps. So when the first situations come, I will hopefully realize, oh, wait a minute. And then I can I will not be perfect. And there will be situations where I hurt my child, but I'm very convinced that I have the tools now to stop it very early, and with him growing and let's call it problems growing, my reactions will grow. So, yeah.
You're ahead of the challenge curve.
Yeah.
You have the tools, so you're ready when it comes. I'm also curious because it's not just the yelling or shouting that many moms come with, but some of them, and then especially also a lot of dads, they tell me that they get emotionally numb. So whenever it gets too much, some situation gets too heavy, and there's too much noise or too much stress, too much pressure, that they just like disconnect, as if they leave the body, they start behaving like a cold, emotionless machine, and they go around like that's how they manage to the trigger if they cannot run away from the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe not just with your baby son, but have you ever experienced that maybe in other relationships?
Yes, definitely. But then this feels like the end of a long, 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 long line.
Yeah.
So it's not the first and not the second reaction.
Yeah.
It's when you have experienced it again and again and again and again, and then you just give up. And then you're like, pfft.
Yeah.
So my goal is not to come there, not to be in this situation.
Indeed. Very good. I'm curious about your experience about the program. So inside, you were having one-on-one sessions, you were learning the mental fitness, so like the healthy way of dealing with stress and struggles and relationships, and not just your baby boy, but your partner and everybody. How did that go for you? Were there any surprises?
First, the saboteur test.
Let me just explain. So saboteurs,
Yes.
aka trauma coping mechanisms. I explain all of this in our mommy tantrum or daddy tantrum training, but those are basically the coping strategies that you got based on your childhood trauma, the pain that you got as a kid. You developed coping strategies to cover up the pain of not feeling good enough, not being loved unconditionally, not feeling heard and seen. So there are 9 types of that. We call it saboteurs. Thank you so much. Please continue.
Yes, and for example, my loveliest saboteur is the perfectionist. And I'm aware that I'm this kind of person, so it was not a surprise. But it was good to learn about, I mean, everything that you read about it's like, yes, yes, yeah, of course, yeah. And then it's like, yeah, but it should not be like this. And then you're like, okay.
So, you're telling me I used to be proud of it being perfectionist. You're telling me it's not good or what?
So in general, I have no problem with not confessing, but saying, okay, I'm wrong here, or I'm not perfect in this situation. So for me, it was after a short shock about, okay, this is my problem, or these are my ways of coping. What are the ways to handle this? What are the ways to cope with it, and to talk to these saboteurs, to talk to my perfectionist, and to calm that voice in my head. And then I had the coachings, And we went through these. It's probably for everyone more than one. And for me, it was a little bit difficult to connect to my inner child. And I could not really imagine a specific situation. But for me, it was like, okay, I just mix different memories together to one situation that works totally fine. And then I can handle this. And even my coach said, I don't know, it was in the 4th session, I think, she said, yeah, you have problems connecting to your inner child. So as a further step, I changed my mobile phone background to a child image of myself.
Yeah.
So you're watching so often on your screen, and every now and then I looked more specific and talked to myself, and I became more aware about connecting to myself as a child.
Yeah.
Well
done. Well done for the courage. Let me honor you and appreciate you for not giving up, not giving in to those like skeptical, logical voices in your head that I bet were saying like, this is BS and what are you doing? And you're just making it up and this can never work. And those are completely normal, natural reactions. Well done for not giving into it.
Yeah. And I mean,
for continuing to do the work. Yeah.
Even you, when I sometimes wrote you a mail and like, this is like this and da, 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 and you're like, this is. So I'm like, oh yes. So it's still a process.
It is.
Try to explain why something is not working, or just me not working, not because I'm not working on it, just because I'm a perfectionist. And if it's not perfect, I feel like it's not working. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how the trauma coping mechanisms is completely normal for so many women, either perfectionist or controller.
Yeah.
And for everybody, the judge. The judge trying to get the results so fast.
Yeah.
And then beating you up for not being perfect in the first week of the program. And it's like this happens to everybody. So well done. Well done for continuing anyways. So let's fast forward. 3 months later, you already finished the program, and you're even like few weeks after, like you're already out of the program for a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling now?
Relieved. Not that it's over. I mean, not like this.
I'm so glad I'm gone.
No, but relieved in a way that I have achieved something to work on myself, and I feel proud, prepared, and yeah. I mean, these are the most points, and not still. He turned 6 months, so there are no real situations
with him.
With him.
In your mom life, can you feel any difference?
Or not mom life, but partner life, or just human life. So with others, with my partner, of course, that I think more before I react, or even while I react and feel like this is not the response I should give, that I can stop in the situation, even giving advice to others in specific situations. Yeah.
So can you be, and I share the level of detail you feel comfortable with, but just to illustrate, if you're saying that you see the difference in your partnership, so is there anything specific that you can share about what used to be a problem that is not a problem anymore now, or that it's easier?
I mean, here we maybe have to say that my partner also joined the program.
He did.
He did. Doo-doo. And this is really helpful because you have the same vocabulary and you can, in a way, help and stop yourself, each other. So, for example, when he talks to his son, the other son, I just pick your reps.
You're giving him the cues. Yeah. That's so great.
Or even afterwards when there is a situation, no matter with who, that we talk about, okay, how much has this what we learned has sunk in, and how much do we still have to learn and to repeat, because I feel like it's we call it the gym, so you have to train and train again. It's not like doing it once and then you're totally
Yeah.
fine.
We do mental fitness gym. Yeah, indeed. But unlike the classical physical fitness gym, you don't need hours to do your practice. But indeed, it is a lifelong practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing that you can do that
Um,
together. Indeed, that's a great inspiration for all the couples out there.
so it's I think we're more respectful when we talk to each other. And we can explain, okay, now I speak from my perspective. I can explain his reactions better and then react on it.
Yeah.
And when I hear his inner child talking or reacting, then I treat it differently. So
Because it's not a personal attack. He's not out there to hurt you or
exactly.
or do it on purpose, something, but it's like he's in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this understanding for the other person, no matter if it's your child or your partner or whoever you have in front of you, this helps so much to then regulate your reaction. That just, and sometimes, I mean, if it's a colleague and the emotions are not that deep that you have to your child or your partner, then you say, oh, poor boy, and then you react much calmer than you would do, because he probably had a bad childhood.
Yeah. But then still, and this is just to if anybody's wondering, like, okay, so you have empathy for them, but doesn't mean you let bad people do bad stuff to you.
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, if I feel like I have to, then I can get out of the situation where I before would have fought for it. And now I feel like I have a calmness in me just to leave the situation. If I feel this is not helping me or doing me good. Yeah.
Everybody, this is how healthy, healed mom sounds like. I'm so happy for you, Billy. This is so amazing. So, this is how you actually know, like, this is the confirmation. Because if there's anybody sitting out there and thinking, what do you know? You have a few months old baby and you think you'll be able to manage it. Just wait 2 years later, then we talk. Well, you have already tested it on relationships with adult human beings that are sometimes even more triggering. Because there are so many moms coming to me telling me it's okay with my kids, but my biggest problem is my husband or my partner, my wife, my spouse. So it's like, yeah, so you tested it already. That's what can give you the confidence that you'll be okay with your baby son.
Yeah.
Amazing. What are your next steps then? Are you done? What's up in your future?
I'm never done. I'm never done. um, seeing him grow. I mean, it sounds a little bit strange, but I'm looking forward these challenging situations to see
I love
myself
it.
react. Um, I can rehearse with my partner. And again, here it's good that we both did it because we can remind each other when we see it with our child.
Yeah, beautiful. Are there any last words, anything that you would like to share with moms who are still at the beginning of their journey, who are still feeling the pain, or they are just like you, they just had a baby and they're like, it's okay, it's good, and but I want to clean up something from my parents, maybe, but they're still hesitating. What would be your
Yeah,
message
I
for
mean,
them?
it's really this, do it as soon as possible. Because I feel like no matter even if you have a child or not, it's great to do. It's great to clean up your own mess, for your own sake, for your own feeling, for your own body, for your future, for the people around you, and of course for your children that you love the most. So as I said, looking back, even before he was born, I could have done it, or I should have done it. I saw it too late. Um, but this is just because, and everybody who has a child knows about this baby bubble in the beginning. So it was a rough start. But I went through it, and I got so much help from you and from the others within the program. So I felt very, I felt like I can't fall in this program. Um, even if you want to have 2 weeks where you feel like, ugh, then somebody's knocking on your digital door. And but on the other hand, if you say like, okay, just give me these 2 weeks, I need it, then this is also totally fine. So I feel like for this program, it's for your own sake and for you and your team's sake to be as open and honest as possible. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your precious time, for being so strong to
Thank
allow
you.
yourself to be vulnerable and sharing so openly with any mom, woman, or a man. It doesn't matter your parental or family status.
Everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And we should do like a follow-up episode 2 or 3 years later, because I think it's going to be fun for you. I love your attitude that you see your baby son like, I'm looking for it. I'm looking forward to bring on the heat, because I'm going to test everything that I learned and it's going to be so much fun. This is exactly the spirit I have with my daughter, even though she's already older. I see her as my teacher because
Yeah.
she's so good at pointing out where I do lose my balance sometimes, where I'm still like noticing that there are emotions that I have not worked with yet, that there are other pieces of my generational trauma that I haven't worked yet, because as she grows up, there are newer situations that remind me of how my mom handled it with me when I was a kid. So it keeps evolving, and that's why the work never stops, indeed. Because through your child, you have the opportunity to relive and remember your childhood, and you keep cleaning it up. So I cannot wait. Yeah, tell me.
Who says you can't really ask your child to remind yourself? I think this is a great way to involve the child, as you say, as a teacher. Mommy, now you raise your voice, or mommy, now you're losing it. So
Yeah. And not as an accountability partner, not to make them feel
no, no,
responsible that they should help you
no,
calm down, but as kind of a mirror, and for them to feel safe to say, no, mommy, this is not okay, or mommy, we don't say that, this is not kind. Like, my daughter is telling me, I'm like, I'm not telling you anything wrong. It's like, it's not kind to say. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. It's so cute, and I love it that she does it. Yeah. So I cannot wait to hear your stories a few years later. We will do a follow-up episode. So everybody, if you heard this, if you listened to this episode and you want to send your love to Bili, you want to let her know what resonated with you, how she helped you, how she inspired you with her story, then send me a note. You have my email address everywhere. We always love to hear the feedback on these podcast episodes, because this is why we are doing them. We are doing them for you. So cannot wait to hear from you. Thank you, Bili. Thank you so much. Have fun on your journey.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.